On April 14th, Katy was buzzing with news of students on strike at local area high schools. This was sparked with the news that Katy ISD, on April 5th, 2011, that Katy ISD would be making major budget cuts, cutting 500 teachers and 50 administrative staff positions due to an education budget shortfall. Today I'm going to talk about this pressing issue, starting by where this is coming from and who it affects, and Katy ISD's reasoning about why this happened, and also weigh in on the community's feelings and suggestions for the problem. To get a better picture of who and what this is affecting, there are about 4,000 teachers in Katy ISD and 60,000 students. This will be cutting more than 12% of the teaching staff. There will also be cuts to programs, but there are no specifics as to which programs these are just yet. If you go to katyisd.org on the home page, there's a link to an online survey which allows parents and community members to weigh in and talk about vote on what programs they would like to see cut and what programs they want to stay. Katy ISD is not alone. Fort Bend ISD, Houston, Pasadena, Magnolia, just to name a few, are also facing these budget cuts. Second, what is the reasoning behind this? Where did this come from? There was a special meeting held by the Katy ISD School Board on April 11th to discuss the budget cuts and terminations as well as program cuts. According to UltimateKaty.com, members of the Katy Tea Party Patriots were gathered outside in protest. Terminations are time sensitive, says Katy ISD. By law, notices must go out no later than 45 days before the end of school, which for Katy ISD is April 19th. Teachers and staff were informed during this last week during the work day. Where does the money go? If you look at my chart, this chart came off the homepage at katyisd.org. It talks about where the money goes and where cuts can be made. So the biggest amount of money is $298 million, and that goes to instruction and instructional support, which means teacher salary, classroom expenses, libraries, curriculum, and instructional resources. The second largest area here at $59 million is for non-student support services, maintenance, custodial, utilities, security, and technology. And then so on and so forth. So where can money be cut? Money can be cut from any of these areas. In addition to the ones we've already discussed, student support services such as guidance and counseling and health services. We've got instructional and school leadership, which includes all the campus administrators. Also administrative support, general administration, tax office, and legal. And the ancillary services, community education, appraisal district, and so forth. These are all the areas that, according to Katy ISD, may be cut. So lastly, obviously many community members and parents, students alike, as you can see here from the student protests, I have some pictures here from the student walkout here at Cinco Ranch High School to some students here in protest on April 14th. There are many community members that are concerned and are voicing their opinion. So what does the community think? If you go to the Katy ISD website again on the home page, katyisd.org, there is a link for frequently asked questions concerning these budget cuts. The following answers and more are there available to you. Who can be cut or who will be cut? All those who have a Chapter 21 probationary contract will be cut first. And these are those who have been in the teaching profession for less than 3 years, or those who have come from another district and have been with Katy ISD for less than a year. Those are the teachers and staff that will be cut first. Why can't we just reduce teacher salary instead of cutting teachers altogether? Salary reductions by law cannot be made by the district. Salary for teachers comes from the state. The salary comes from the state. When the rehiring process starts, when the budget crisis is over, will these candidates that have been cut, will they be the first candidates to receive a job? Yes, Katie plans to give preferential treatment to those who have been affected by these job cuts. Why are we still building new schools when we're having this budget crisis? Growth in Katy continues rapidly. There are more students moving into the district every day, and they must make room for these students. Why were 3% raises given last year? 1% of these raises was mandated by the state. The other 2% was by the board to stay competitive among other areas, other districts. I also conducted a Facebook poll to ask my friends where they think where the budget cuts should be made instead of cutting teachers. Some of the answers were administrative costs and extras such as travel expenses for the sports teams, letter jackets, other extras. Another suggestion was to maximize major revenue sources such as the athletics program, run it like a professional team, and raise ticket prices, etc. Also, cut the tax test, which is soon to be the STAR exam, and just have an exit exam in high school. And lastly, to stop spending beyond the district's means, meaning stay within that tax money and not rely on the government funding. In closing, I would like to quote from Alton Fraley, superintendent of Katy ISD, in an email that he sent out to parents and students last week. He said, "Our goal is to spread the cuts as much as possible so as not to severely impact the classroom support, student learning experiences, and other services that have made Katy ISD one of the top school districts in our nation. You are Katy ISD, and I admire you for wanting to have your voice heard and for caring about our great teachers." So again, in closing, we talked about where the money goes, who it affects, and why this has happened. We talked about Katy ISD's reasoning and explanation, and also what the community has to say and their suggestions for improvement. This is obviously an issue that we have not heard the last of. It's going to be in the news for a good long while they get this figured out. I hope you've learned a lot, as I have, and thank you.